Welcome back. I've come up with an interesting way to optimize the NPCs in my Roblox game. You see, in Anthill Conquest, there could be potentially thousands of ants running in the background at once during gameplay, depending on how advanced a player's colony is. Making a solid system was crucial, meaning I had to scrap my ideas 3 times to reach the final implementation. I haven't seen anyone do this before, so I'm excited to share this to you in Roblox. But before we start, it's likely you haven't heard about my game yet. Wait, what the heck? Oh wait, that's right. This is my game, Anthill Conquest, which I've been working on for over a year. It's an open world colony building game where you raise ants while collecting resources and fighting off the natural forces as you progress through the biomes. After taking a massive break from development, I finally returned. To see my past progress, definitely visit this video if you haven't, and if you have, I don't know, just do it again. It wouldn't hurt, right? Anyways, I bring to you today over-optimizing the NPCs in my Roblox game. How does my NPC work? Thing is, what you're seeing isn't real. My ant NPCs are controlled through a server-client connection where the server stores moving coordinates and ant logic. This is useful to keep server authority and prevent pesky hackers from perchance yeeting their ants. The client does their wizardry on the player side. After reading a set coordinates of ants from the server, the ants are replicated on the client side. This is just a fancy way to say clone on client, move model on client, animate on client. That's pretty much it. The part that comes after is how I achieve this. Remember, my end goal is to achieve 1k ants. And we do it with a little bit of code. Starting off, we define where our server view happens. The server values such as start and position will be stored in replicated storage in folders and attributes. When we want to create an ant, we create a folder with relevant stats. Very simplified demonstration, so I have HP, speed, an attack, and a name. We keep going by giving the ant an actual loop to run behaviors. It will run every heartbeat, which is around 60 times a second in Roblox. Here's what an ant moving infinitely to the left would look like. The server is just changing the positional value, as you can see, and not moving any models because it's a server, duh. So now for some client time. In the same server view folder, we want to check when a new folder is added. And then once the folder is added, you just do stuff. Like, it doesn't get easier than that. Every time an ant moves, the server changes the start, end coordinates, the time when it moves, and the move tick, which is the ETA. But why not update the actual position on the server, you ask? Position can be calculated as a linear interpolation or lerping for short. So step 1, you get how much time has passed. Step 2, get the percentage of the overall completion. Step 3, that's your current position. By doing this, I save my precious CPU from breaking, which is W optimization. 2 million IQ move, very good. These values are stored as attributes in a folder where client can pick up changes through attribute change event. Another alternative is remote events, but nah, I'm good. It might be slightly faster, but folders are better for me to visualize. It doesn't have to be that optimized, right? Even though this video is about optimization. Whoa, look at that, so fast. If you ever got on Roblox Studio before, you may be used to putting NPC on the server, and then you get it to do random stuff. There's no hate here, it works well, but I have a separate issue, scaling, where it ruins a game with so much lag, so thus I like to keep my ants on the client and keep the complex code in the server instead. Man, and just when I thought I was done... Wait. What the hell? Yo, I'm sorry. Who let Roblox cook while I was away? So asynchronous context came out, shared tables came out, buffers came out. Overall, we're eating super good. So I converted from the stupid R folders to shared tables to perform the server calculation values. But then I kept half the folders code because I still need that server client communication. As for parallel, I used it because it helps, because not all ants do the same thing at the same time. I can process ant logic in different threads asynchronously, which helps in performance. Before I could kinda run 50 ants, now it's chill with around 120, so overall, very W. that was my first system reconstruction out of 3. Man, I hope I don't have to do any more deleting of code. Roblox Pathfinding provides, well, pathfinding for humanoid models. It can navigate around Roblox terrains, jump if it needs to, and climb up ladders. An excellent tool to make NPCs look smart, which is what I'm looking for, so I'm gonna have to yoink it. Remember how my ants are on the client? While the server travels from start to end in a straight line, this is important, the client will pathfind locally. See what I'm getting at? It just has to believe what they see. So while your server position is probably clipping through walls because it's linear, you will see an ant navigating the obstacles on the client. The benefits of this, it takes off load from the server, it keeps the immersion because the ants doesn't look stupid. So overall, very nice. But it don't work. Con number 1. I want the ant to climb over the obstacles, not navigate around it. Number 2. This pathfinding thing is so unreliable, sometimes it just doesn't return a path. And that's not good because you want a path at all times, that's how it looks good. Now, I don't mean it can't navigate because I sort of made it work somehow. The most issue, however, is lag. Pathfinding isn't meant for hundreds, let alone thousands of NPCs. You need some crazy specs to do that, and I'm using my hella old school laptop to code. Like, you can't beg for any more than that. While I could come up with some genius solution, it simply wasn't worth the time. Maybe storing points along the map, or using different algorithms, or even changing the map to grid for pathfinding, which is what I did. I've thought of them all. Like, all the ideas, just throw it into the table. Was this finally the end? Well, I present to you a better alternative. But that's time for today. I'm releasing a part 2 soon, which goes more depth on the technicality. That means more codes, more maths, and more anthill content. Footage is all there, so sorry, I guess you're waiting. So to wrap things up, we have server-client communication, parallel context for NPCs, shared tables for sharing data, quote-unquote pathfinding, and why we're not using pathfinding, and finally, what you came here for. Let's give the answer test.